So this is the assay training for the Expert Express Strep A assay. During the presentation, we will discuss reagents provided and required for the Express Strep A assay, proper sample collection and storage, kit handling and storage, preparation of the Express Strep A cartridge, as well as quality controls. We will also cover how to interpret results as well as different results that can be generated. At the end of the training, you will be able to store and handle the Expert Express A cartridge kit and sample collection kit, follow proper laboratory safety precautions, collect and transport an appropriate specimen, prepare a cartridge and run the Expert Express Strep A assay, as well as report the various software-generated results and understand the Expert Express Strep A control strategy. The Expert Express Strep A assay detects the Streptococcus pyogenes DNA. There are onboard internal controls for each sample, which includes the probe check control and the specimen processing control. It is a closed cartridge system, which minimizes the risk of contamination. It also incorporates the early assay termination feature. The results are available on demand. And the Gene Expert provides you the flexibility to run different types of expert assay tests at the same time, otherwise known as random access technology. The intended use of this assay is as follows. This is an excerpt from the package insert. The Expert Express Strep A assay performed on the Gene Expert instrument system is a rapid, qualitative in vitro diagnostic test for the detection of Streptococcus pyogenes group A beta hemolytic Streptococcus Strep A in throat swab specimens from patients with signs and symptoms of pharyngitis. The Expert Express Strep A assay utilizes an automated real-time polymerase chain reaction, otherwise known as PCR, to detect Streptococcus pyogenes DNA. The assay requirements are as follows. The Gene Expert software DX 4.7B or higher, expertise software 6.4B or higher. The catalog numbers are both displayed on the screen for both the US IVD as well as for CE IVD assays. The sample collection device that is required but is not provided is the Copan liquid amine dilution swab or e-swab collection and the transport system. The Copan catalog numbers for that device is 480CE or Copan 480C. Other materials that are required include personal protective equipment, otherwise known as PPE, a 1 to 10 dilution of bleach, and 70% ethanol or denatured ethanol. Some optional ancillary items include an uninterruptible power supply, a surge protector, and a printer. Good laboratory practice. So for good laboratory practice, we recommend wearing a clean lab coat as well as gloves and changing gloves between processing patient samples. The lab bench area shall be clean. We recommend that the work surface is routinely cleaned with a 1 to 10 dilution of household bleach, followed by 70% ethanol. After cleaning, make sure that the work surface area is dry. Store specimens and samples away from the kit to prevent contamination. And as far as the equipment, use filtered barrier pipette tips when recommended, and follow the manufacturer's requirements for calibration and maintenance of the equipment. Content, storage, and handling. The Expert Express Strep A kit contains 10 cartridges per kit, 12 transfer pipettes, as well as a CD which includes the Expert Express Strep A assay definition file, the assay definition file import instructions, and the package insert. The kit storage and handling conditions are as follows. The cartridges and reagents should be stored at 2 to 28 degrees C. Follow your institution's safety procedures for working with chemicals and handling biological samples. Open the Expert Express Strep A cartridge lid only when adding the sample. Close the lid and proceed with processing. Some warnings and precautions are as follows. Do not shake the cartridge. Do not use a cartridge that appears wet, has leaked, or if the lid appears to have been broken, appears damaged, has been dropped after removing it from packaging, has been dropped or shaken after adding the sample to it, has a damaged reaction tube, has been used, as each cartridge is a single use, or has expired. Do not reuse pipettes. And please note, the Expert Express Strep A cartridges and reagents should be disposed of according to your institution's and country's guidelines for disposal of hazardous material. Two limitations for this assay include that the Expert Express Strep A has been validated only with throat swabs using Cepheid's recommended procedure as per the package insert. Number two, mutations or polymorphisms in primer or probe binding regions may affect detection of new or unknown Streptococcus pyogenes strains, resulting in a false negative result. Specimen collection, storage, and transport. I refer you to the throat swab specimen collection sheet, which is available through Cepheid. The instructions for the throat swab specimen collection include using the eSwab liquid-based collection and transport system, Copan 480CE or Copan 480C. Step 1, remove the swab from the wrapper. Step 2, swab the posterior pharynx, tonsils, and other inflamed areas. Avoid touching the tongue, cheeks, and teeth with the swab when collecting specimens. Uncap the transport medium containing tube. Place the swab into the transport tube containing liquid amines transport medium and break the swab at the indicated score line. Do not place multiple swabs in the transport tube. Cap the transport medium tube. Specimen transport and storage. These specimens are stable at 15 to 30 degrees C for up to 48 hours. They are also stable between 2 and 8 degrees C for up to 6 days. Cartridge preparation. The Expert Express Strep A cartridge preparation card is available through Cepheid as a quick reference. but please refer to your package insert for detailed instructions, precautions, and warnings. Step 1, take 1 cartridge and a 300 microliter transfer pipette provided. Vigorously shake the transport tube for 5 seconds. Step 3, open the cartridge lid. Step 4, uncap the transport tube and do not remove the cap. Step 5, lift the cap with the attached swab. Aspirate 300 microliters of the sample. Step 6, empty the pipette into the sample chamber of the cartridge. And step 7, close the cartridge lid. Now you're ready to run a test. In the GeneXpert DX software, click on the Create Test button in the top menu within 30 minutes of adding the sample to the cartridge. Scan the barcodes, cartridge, patient, and/or sample ID. Step number 3, scan the cartridge. For the GeneXpert Infinity system, place the cartridge on the conveyor within 30 minutes of adding the sample to the cartridge. Click on the Orders button. Scan any barcodes, including cartridge, patient, and/or sample ID. And step 3, scan the cartridge and place onto the conveyor belt. In the GeneXpert DX software, other fields may be required to be completed per your administrator. And step number 7, click on Start Test and load the cartridge into the module with the green blinking light. For the Expertise software, please complete the required fields for your administrator. Click on the Submit button and load the cartridge onto the conveyor belt. As the cartridge is being processed, the first step has been completed. The sample has been added to the cartridge. Step number 2, the cartridge is loaded onto the system. Step 3, nucleic acids are purified. Step 4, purified nucleic acids mixed with the PCR reagent. Step 5, simultaneous amplification and detection occurs. Once the test is completed, all materials, biological specimens, specimen collection devices, and unused cartridges should be considered capable of transmitting infectious agents and require use of standard precautions. Follow your institution's environmental waste procedures for proper disposal of used cartridges and unused reagents. These materials may exhibit characteristics of chemical hazardous waste, requiring specific national or regional disposal procedures. If national or regional regulations do not provide clear direction on proper disposal, biological specimens and used cartridges should be disposed of per WHO, World Health Organization, medical waste handling and disposal guidelines. quality controls. There are system controls which check the optics, temperature of the module, and mechanical integrity of each cartridge. If the system controls fail, an error test result will be reported. Expert Express Strep A control strategy. Each Expert Express cartridge is a self-contained test device. Cepheid has designed specific molecular methods to include internal controls that enable the system to detect specific failure modes within each cartridge. These controls include the probe check control, as well as the sample processing control, or SPC. The probe check control occurs before the PCR step. Fluorescent signals measured on all probes and compared with default factory settings to monitor bead rehydration, reaction tube filling, probe integrity, and dye stability. The sample processing control verifies adequate sample processing, detects PCR inhibition, and should be positive in a negative sample, and can be positive or negative in a positive sample. Some commercially available external controls include controls from Zeptometrics, catalog numbers listed here. The process of preparing those controls includes step 1. Take 1 vial of the control material and shake vigorously for 5 seconds. Open the cartridge lid. Using a transfer pipette included in the kit, transfer 300 microliters of the control to the sample chamber of the cartridge. Close the lid and launch the test on the GeneXpert. To minimize degradation of the control material, return any unused sample to the recommended storage conditions immediately after use. There are other vendors for quality control material that may be available in your area, in addition to the one outlined above. An external control should be used in accordance with local state accrediting organizations as applicable. Result interpretation. Here is a result summary. When the Strep A target is positive, the SPC may or may not amplify. When the Strep A target is negative or not detected, the SPC must amplify and give a passing result. If one or the other, either Strep A or SPC, does not amplify, then an invalid result will occur. Strep A detected. In this example, Strep A target is detected. The SPC is reported as NA or not applicable. And the probe check passed. As you may remember, this assay does use the early assay termination feature. Positive results can be available earlier than 24 minutes, dependent on the sample titer. The early assay termination is activated when predetermined threshold for a positive test result is reached before 43 PCR cycles are completed. As you can see in this example below, the analyte for Strep A is coming across at about a CT value of 19. And then it goes an additional few cycles. But the test result is reported at cycle 25. For an analyte coming up with a CT of 15, you can have a result as early as 20 minutes. In this example, we're showing the strep A target is not detected. Therefore, the SPC must pass. Troubleshooting. Some factors that may negatively affect the results include improper specimen collection, which can include the bacterial load in the specimen is below the detectable limit of the test, improper transport or storage of collected specimens. The storage and transport conditions are specimen specific. Please refer to the package insert for the appropriate handling instructions. And improper testing procedure. Modifications to the testing procedures may alter the performance of the test. Careful compliance with the package insert is necessary to avoid erroneous results. In this example, we show an invalid result. The presence or absence of the strep A target cannot be determined, and the sample processing control has failed. The SPC did not meet the acceptance criteria. Some possible causes may be improper sample collection, incorrect sample preparation, improper storage of the cartridges, inefficient sample processing in the cartridge, presence of interfering substances in the sample. Please refer to the package insert and operator manual for more complete information. The solution would be to repeat the test with a new cartridge and a new sample. In this example, we see an error. The error is defined as the inability to determine if the presence or absence of strep A is there. The result is a no result for strep A as well as for the SPC. Some possible causes may include missing probe or primer or enzyme beads, incomplete bead rehydration, incomplete reaction tube filling, issues with the probe integrity or dye stability. If the probe checks pass, please check the Gene Expert System module and the maximum pressure limit may be exceeding the acceptable range. Repeat the test with a new cartridge and sample. Again, please refer to the package insert and operator manual for complete information. A no result is defined as the presence or absence of strep A cannot be determined. The strep A and the SPC both report a no result. Some possible causes may be that the test was stopped with the stop test button or there was an electrical failure. The solution is to secure the power and repeat the test with a new cartridge and sample. Please refer to the package insert and operator manual for complete information. For the retest procedure, the instructions are as follows. Discard the used cartridge. It is a one-time use cartridge. And follow your institution's safety guidelines for the disposal of these cartridges. Step number 2, obtain the residual sample mixed according to the package insert. If the leftover sample volume is insufficient or the retest continues to return an invalid error or no result, collect a new sample. Obtain a new cartridge and process the sample per the package insert and run the test on the system. For any further information, please contact technical support at the following locations. Before contacting them, please have the information regarding your product name, lot number, serial number of the system, error messages, software version, and computer service pack number available. You may reach our technical support at the following telephone numbers, email, and also through our Cepheid website at www.cepheid.com/US/support. Thank you.